There are two main categories of vinyl planking that are being used today. One of them that you will find more at the lumber yards and a few of the cash and carry flooring stores is the click or floating vinyl. While at most of the specialty flooring stores that supply and install their own products, such as GR Flooring, you will find most of us push the 5mm loose lay planks and tiles. Although of course we all carry both types of products, those are the main ones that lumber yards versus us push. Now here is how they are constructed. This is a cross section of one of the clicks. Now some of the clicks already have underlays attached, some do not. This one happens to have it already pre-attached. You will see that there is the wear layer, the core, of course where the click system goes, then the base, and then underlay, whether it has it or not, or you have to apply it yourself. Now this is a cross section of the loose lay. These do not come with any underlayment pre-attached. Although, of course, if you do need to reach a specific sound rating for a high-rise condo or a basement suite, there are options. But day to day, we do not use any underlayment. Again, we have the wear layer, then the core. Now, if you look at the core closely, you can actually see the emulsified layer of fiberglass, then the rest of the core, and that's it. Now, this is the only non-click vinyl plank that we will sell. Anything not as thick, such as the 2mm, 3mm, will not have as much fiberglass, and actually a lot of them don't even have any fiberglass. Now the ones that even do have a mesh, not an emulsified layer, it's actually just a little tape that's in there. The fiberglass is absolutely necessary for two reasons. First of all, it allows the product to actually sit flat and conform to the subfloor, and secondly, gives a lot of extra stability to the vinyl. Now without this fiberglass layer, the floor will warp and move when sunlight hits it. And of course, we don't get any sunlight here in southern Saskatchewan. But seriously, vinyl, all vinyl flooring, will expand when it heats up, and it will shrink when it gets colder. And sunlight beating down on the floor for hours and hours will give a lot of heat. So 5mm loose lay is made so stable that it doesn't require any glue whatsoever. The weight, the density, and the construction all allow it to work just fine. Ergo loose lay. That being said, we always use a pressure-sensitive adhesive under this type of floor. Just that extra grab holds it in place so there's no shifting around. And realistically, this adhesive is cheap, it's easy, and it gives you that extra peace of mind so we know that the floor works just spectacularly in our climate. Now, the pros for the click or floating are simple. Ease of installation. Something that you and your friends can do over a weekend. Cut the planks with a jigsaw or cut saw, snap them together, presto. Now the next benefit is cost. Most of these are made extremely cheap. So those are the two main reasons that cash and carry lumber yards and do-it-yourself flooring stores will carry it, because it's not much of required information for how to install, snap and go. And of course it's very cheap. A lot of it's even made even cheaper than they sell it for, but that's a different story altogether. Now the pros for the 5mm loose lay. Number one, flatness of the subfloor is not as important. So if you look at these two planks here, we have a plank of click and a plank of loose lay right beside each other. The click always has a rigid core that allows it to snap together, whereas the loose lay actually conforms to any insignificance, any problems with the subfloor. Now, of course, you really should be sanding high spots and filling low spots, but as you can see with a click system, if you have these voids underneath it, when you walk on it, when the floor moves, it can actually fracture the tongue and groove system and eventually break apart. Now, with a 5mm loose lay, as you can see, because it does conform to the hills and valleys of your subfloor, it's not as important for it to be perfectly flat. So the second thing is that the loose lay systems are very stable compared to click systems. They're, like we said, they're built so you don't actually need any glue or adhesive on them. Now, of course, we still really do suggest to use the pressure sensitive underneath, but technically it doesn't need it, just a little bit on the perimeter to hold the planks all together. So overall, very stable. While window coverings are always really suggested to keep the intense sunlight off the floor, they're not as important as what they are with a click system, because the click systems do not have the fiberglass and the stability that the 5mm does have. So most click systems are actually guaranteed to withstand up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas we've actually tested the loose lay to 147 degrees Fahrenheit. No failure, has worked. Good luck with the clicks. Now another benefit to the glue down is that it's very easy to replace a plank in the middle of the floor. Now we all know that things will be dropped on the floor and it will get damaged. There's no avoiding it. That's life. That's reality. Now, when stuff does get dropped on the floor, it's usually in the middle of the floor, never on the edges. So with a click system, what we have to do, just like a laminate floor, is to remove the baseboard, unclick the floor from the closest wall to the damaged board, change that damaged board, and re-click that floor back, hoping you didn't damage anything in the process, and then put your baseboards back on. Now, I know that there are people out there and there's products out there that say that you can cut out the board and tap the surrounding boards back together with some glue and tape and whatever that jazz like that, but I say good luck. I know in theory it works just fine, and I've even seen reps show me videos of someone doing that, but they always seem to have nothing close to them. They always seem to have no kitchen islands, no walls, no anything like that, lots of perimeter space, the perfect situation, but not in the average home. So in my opinion, it doesn't work. So realistically, what we should do, we'll actually do a video of it, testing it out. Or, because who knows, maybe I'm wrong. But even if you can do all that stuff, and even if that does actually work using all these tools, the saws, the tape, whatever the heck, it's still a lot more work than with the 5mm loose lay. With this product, all you need is a little bit of heat. 90, 95 Fahrenheit. Use a heat gun or hair dryer. It reactivates the glue. So all you do is literally pick the board up right in the middle of the floor. The glue doesn't even transfer to the board. It stays on the subfloor. So you pick the board up, pop a new one down. It's really that simple. Less than 5 minutes. Heat, pull, drop. That's it. No tools, no hammers, no tape, no baseboards, no nothing. Now, last but not least, vinyl plank on the stairs. Now, I've done a whole video explaining plank on stairs. You know, click here and you can take you to that video and take a look at it. But for the sake of time, 5mm plank on stairs are ridiculously better than click. Take a look at the video and I'll explain. So conclusion, click vinyl is easy to install, very cheap. 5mm loose lay is more forgiving to install, more forgiving with sunlight, heat, easier to repair when it gets damaged, and look and perform better on stairs. Now obviously we all carry both, so take a look, take samples home, play with them. Make sure to look at them for at least a few days. Take a look in the morning, take a look in the evening, because it really does change the look. Make an informed decision. Have a great day.